trial in the election petition filed by Nambi Faridah has commenced today. And the principal, who is the petitioner, first of all, has failed to prove that he had agents on all the polling stations she is complaining about. She has failed to prove that she obtained any results from the said polling stations. She has also stated that her participation on that day in this election was she went to the polling station, voted, and went back home. And to us, that is hearsay. She did not see any chaos, any violence, as stated. Who then would qualify that evidence, if at all? That would be witnesses. The said witnesses are faceless. The agents is referring to provided evidence without the required national IDs. We have a petitioner where one of those who had provided such evidence stated in evidence for the first respondent, the Honorable Nalukoola, that he never appeared before any commissioner, he never appeared before any lawyer for Nambi. He does not even know where the offices of those lawyers who drafted that evidence are. That behoves that with these faceless witnesses that Nambi is relying on, would they be credible? These are ghost witnesses. We have gotten a challenge that these faceless witnesses are the ones on record. We apply to court to have these faceless witnesses come to testify, even on that alone, to ascertain whether they are actually existent or not. The court denied us the opportunity. Out of the 30, we're given an opportunity of only 10. And some of these are not those that are faceless. The court chose for the first respondent, which witnesses, to be cross-examined. That is unusual. And that is one area that we are sticking on, to tell court that, look here, without the faceless witnesses coming to be put to test, and now that Nambi has distanced herself that for me I don't know anything, I just voted and went home, then where is the evidence that can sustain such a petition so as to overturn the decision of the majority people in Kawempe? We believe so far, so good. The numbers, the election is about numbers. The numbers don't add up. She had the calculator, and in her own calculation, she has confirmed to court that even when all registered voters at 14 polling stations vote for her, in the percentages of those that who turned up, because we know the voter turn-up was 14%. So if that 14% of the voters who turned up all voted for her, whereby none of them probably is sick, none of them is out of the country, where no spoiled votes, that percentage of the voter turnout would not return her still as the winner of this election. And I think we're on track.
Pastor, could you please talk about the illegalities you are trying to emphasize in court?
Yes, the petitioner is relying on the first respondent, the Honorable Nalukoola, having gone to polling stations and told people I am Nalukoola, as one of the electoral offenses that should overturn the entire election. Because on electoral offenses and illegalities, just one element can overturn the will of the people. So we believe saying that I am Nalukoola cannot be such an offense. That behoves of what we stated. It's a frivolous petition. It is so simplistic, it's so vexatious that you cannot rely on someone having said I'm Nalukoola at a polling station for you to overturn an election. I think let's not simplify election matters for whatever reason. That people come up to vote, some even are still in hospital, and you want by Nalukoola having stated that I'm Nalukoola, that should be an element to nullify an election. The question was put to her, and she confirmed that even her and her husband mentioned their names at the polling station, just as it would be ordinarily. So these are trivialities. We say the petition is trivial. It is frivolous. It cannot be sustained if we are to go by fairness and the justice in this petition. And that justice, not for Nambi or Honorable Nalukoola, but for the people of Kawempe, who have not had an MP for these 5 years. The Honorable Segirinya never represented the people, but now Nalukoola, instead of being in parliament, they are now on trivialities, keeping him here in court. They believe it's unfair, and the court should, against that background, not overturn the will of the people of Kawempe North constituency.
Agents in those 14 will appear because they do not give you results. That's why you want to restore. That's the issue.
The petition, my lord, the failure to return.
You stated you were talking about the number of votes having been counted where you appeared at your husband. It was your statement. I did not respond to that because the agents, according to you, will appear. They will not give you the results, but you will appear to this issue.
I did not get the results from the polling stations. That's what I was doing.
Those results are with your agents. Yes? Are with your agents.
We have no results from the polling stations.
So, is it your case that your agents did not participate in a county at the 14 polling station? It's your evidence they did not count. Is that the case?
No, my lord, but they will not come back from the results of this committee.
They did not. In paragraph 10, the evidence. The said agents chose to report about everything that paragraph 10 of the affidavit. Page 13. Those agents in paragraph 10 chose to give you a thorough report about what transpired, on incidents you alleged of chaos, violence, and the like, but not about the voting and the counting. Is that your evidence?
The paragraph 6, I'm informed by the above persons
Yes.
that the information I verily believe to be true and correct, that despite incidences of chaos, riot, and violence, especially at Kazangola polling center, the voting itself, voting at the said polling stations took place
Between 7 and 4.
within the regular voting time
Between 7 and 8.
of 7 a.m. and 4 p.m. and many voters voted at that.
So you confirm that voters from your agents, voters voted. Yes, that record is clear. Voting took place between 7 and closing time 4 p.m. But then omit or neglect to tell you that there was counting. Okay? You want us to believe that that's detail. Let's go back to the incidents of chaos and violence. Did they tell you at which polling stations, one by one? Because you have the time between 7 and 4, I don't know at what time. This is that report. The counting is not yet what time was chaos. Did they give you that report? Is it one of the information?
My lord, the agents at the 14 polling stations said that yes, indeed, there was violence and chaos at those polling stations, and that's the reason why they did not have the results.
In that report, what time did they specify? They specify the time. Was it the ones for? Because then they vote agreed on the thing for. Was it at 9 a.m.? What time there? Did they tell you? Or they did not?
They mentioned that the violence
Okay, let me
started
give you
in
one.
the afternoon, late afternoon.
Kawempe Herbert at Mbogo Primary School. Kawempe. What time? That's Kawempe Herbert.
Paragraph.
What time the chaos and violence? Is it clear or it is not? It's not clear. Yes.
Ahmed oyo ayagala kuwaganya ebintu ebintu mwami we ayagala kuwaganya. Ahmed, assalamu alaikum.